if any of these young men are on probation. Do that disqualify them from the program?
Not at all. So we have a lot of kids that are on probation, and we kind of treat it as good old-fashioned mentoring. You sit them down, you talk with them, and then you kind of steer their path the best you can. So we've done that to several kids. I've talked to you about several kids.
Yes.
We try to steer them the right way. We've steered quite a bit of kids to a better direction than they were heading in the first place. So, and some of those kids are really good, and they've gotten really good, and they're going to be competing here soon.
So I'm assuming that Lalo, you and the rest of the team, you're trying to instill discipline to these kids, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Do you talk about accountability? You talk about responsibility? You talk about abiding by the laws and the rules and regulations of society?
Yep. I'll talk to them as much as I can, and then you know how it is. You're going to get the "you're a cop" whatever face.
Yes.
But then I can reach out to you, or I can reach out to Martin and be like, hey, share your story. It's similar to those kids. See if you can put them on my page so I can start dealing with them a little more, and they'll open up. So some kids open up pretty quick. Some kids are 2-3 months down the road, they'll finally open up. But the more we stay with them, the more they'll open up and start being a lot more trusting. So.
No, let's say, and the parent of a juvenile who wants to come and practice boxing. Is there a fee, whether it's monthly, annual fee that they have to pay in order to get involved?
Nope, there's no fee at all. Everything's free. We give them hand wraps. We let them borrow the boxing gloves. We let them use the facilities. Everything's free. Even if we decide to go competition style, we'll pick up the tab.
How about if they don't have transportation from home or school to the building, to the
we are trying to work with the transit buses and see if we can work out a schedule or have a bus stop there. We haven't been able to quite do that yet. Transportation is the hardest issue we've come across, especially with kids that need to get some tutoring done. Getting them there after school when the parents are at work, it's quite hard. So transportation has been a big.
Yeah. Do you think you can use volunteers to drive these kids? Is there like a liability?
Yeah, there is. So as long as the kids are signed, they'll fill out the liability waivers and all that stuff, and that's all listed in there. We do try to set up like carpool areas. We'll find out kids that are kind of in the same area, and ask their parents, hey, if you wouldn't mind bringing them down when they come. So but transportation's always been an issue, and I don't know how we're gonna solve that one, to be honest, at the moment.
Well, anybody listening, if you have any ideas, please let us know. Help us out.
So now, how long does it take? You mentioned that the kids they get introduced to the basics of boxing, and how long does it take approximately for them to learn the basics and before they can actually get on the ring and at least experience some type of sparring? Because safety, it's all about safety.
Yeah, I want to say if somebody's really motivated to learn, I think they can get into sparring within 4 to 6 weeks.
Oh wow!
If they're really motivated, like they come every night
and they have a 2.0 GPA.
Yep. So there's some kids, the kids are all different. Some pick it up faster than others.
And what is the minimum age to enter the boxing?
We're doing 8 years to 18 years old.
Wow,
8 to 18. Okay, so that's okay, fantastic. So anybody 18 and above is not allowed to come and train.
So we can sign them up as a volunteer, and then we'll show them, hey, this is how you can volunteer and still get a workout, still get a training day in. So
a training day.
Yep.
What does it take to become a volunteer? Do you have to go to a specific training? For instance, when I was an SRO for Bishop Ward High School, I have to take classes. I went through a training through the Archdiocese, and also I have to take monthly classes online. At that time, I believe it was called Virtues Online, and that relates to dealing with juveniles, the psychological aspects, sexual abuse, and all that. Do they have to have this type of training?
They don't have to have it, but if they're going to be a continued volunteer, like some volunteers, they do it for a couple times and you don't really kind of see them ever again. So the ones that stick with it, we'll give them Safe Sport, which is an online training, and then Turner Boxing has come in and gave us a quick, 4-hour little. This is kind of how you do it. This is how you be safe and that kind of stuff. So they're pretty good about working with us too.
All right. So moving on from boxing to art.
So I'm not going to be well versed in this. So Vania Soto is our local celebrity artist.
Who is that? I'm sorry, say it again.
Vania Soto.
Okay.
So
She's amazing.
She's fantastic.
She's amazing.
So she lives in the area. We are doing 4 free art classes every week. You have to look on the Facebook page because she kind of changes it with her schedule because she's a freelance artist, starving artist. So, but her art studio, we've given her the choir deck in the church, which is up top. So we allow her to use that as her art space to do her projects and make her money. And then in return, she teaches these classes for free.
Okay, and everything is provided to
Everything.
the youth.
Yep, they just got to show up.
Wow.
So what type of art do you have going in? Is it painting? Is it sculpting, ceramics? What do you have?
So mostly it's painting. She does some sketching and art and some drawing, but it's mostly painting. She's really into the painting.
So, and can you tell us a little bit more about Miss Soto?
Well, I think she's from Texas, and I can't remember how long ago it was when she moved up here, but it's been several years she's been up here. She has art showings at Crown Center and Union Station, and
I've seen a couple of her murals.
Yeah. That's another interview there, Mr. Cervantes.
Yes, she's amazing. Now, does she take the same age as you guys, 8 to 18, or
she does 10 to 16, I believe. I believe it's 10 to 16.
10 to 16.
Yeah.
And what are the hours for the art classes?
So we're adjusting them right now. COVID kind of messed everything up, and now that we're starting to get back to normal, she's doing a Saturday for sure, 12 to 3, and then we're going to have to just
Saturdays,
look at the
12 to
Facebook
3.
page.
Do
the
you
one I
have
can
any
do.
classes for people that can only like draw a little circle and stick?
Oh, she'll make an artist out of anybody.
that would be me.
That's what I'm talking about.
That would be me.
I'm a quasi-bohemian like Pablo Picasso. Okay, so now we have the art and then followed by
The gardening.
the garden.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. Who runs that part of the program, of the POP program, and what is it that you do exactly?
So the community gardens in the back of the church, we bulldozed 2 houses that were vacant and on the demo list. So we got those demoed, removed. We re-soiled everything with the best topsoil you could probably buy. And then we fenced it in. We have 28 raised beds that are 2 foot tall, 12 foot long. Marcella is our master gardener, and she is fantastic. Like, I've never seen a garden so awesome before in my life. And I'm not a big gardener or planter guy, but I can walk out there and just enjoy it. Like
Marcella. Now, what do you know about Marcella? What can you tell us about Marcella?
Oh, she lives on the east side of KCMO, or on the west side of KCMO, which we are east side here in KCMO. She's great with kids, and that'd have to be a story on her own because she could talk and talk and talk. And
now, do you know what she's growing now? What's in the gardens?
she grows everything. Everything you can get in the grocery store. There's onions, tomatoes, cucumbers, squash,
Peppers.
peppers. Oh yeah, peppers.
And what do you guys do with all that?
So she distributes it out to community members to help out. So if you volunteer, she'll give you some. The kids come in, they volunteer, they get some. We have 20 chickens that lay dozens
Chickens.
of eggs a day.
Well, so if I need vegetables and eggs, I can go and volunteer for a couple hours and come home with a little basket.
Yeah, with
Wow.
fruit,
You have chickens.
eggs, and bees. So we have every September we do about 150, 200 pounds of honey.
Wow.
Are you
We have 4
serious?
beehives, yeah,
Do you have
Wow.
on site?
on site. So it's
Wow.
Vegetables, chickens that produce eggs, and you have honeybees.
Wow.
good for allergies.
There we go. There we go. Isn't that
And
amazing?
that's just a small part of the garden.
Huh?
So, I mean, we expanded it last year during COVID since we didn't have the kids on a regular basis. So I loaded up in a Bobcat and learned how to run one of those and tore up a bunch of concrete. And we extended the garden. We added we call it a poetry reading area. It's kind of like a Zen area. You can kind of sit and it's quite calming. And then you have the chicken coop. Then we have the beehives. We have an outdoor classroom we built. And then we just are now starting to plant in our vineyard. So we're going to have 3 45-foot rows of grapes, which will eventually turn into like pal wine.
Wine. Wow. Don't tell my wife that. Don't tell my wife that.
Okay, so now let me ask you this. Do you offer any type of educational mentoring regarding schoolwork, homework?
Yep. So I've been doing it. The other officer that works with me has been doing it. Anybody, adults in the gym that can help out, we've been doing it that way. We just recently had our computer desk installed and donated, and we have 6 computers donated that we've got ready to go. We just have to install one more piece of software so they can't be destroyed by any fingers that know more about computers than I do. So once we get that, should be here in about a week. We'll have our computer lab up and going, which will hold about 10 students. Oh. And then we got 3 tutors on board to come by to teach whatever they need to teach.
And that's also free?
That's also free.
Wow.
And these are after school programs.
Right. So we'll probably open that up at, I think the plan is to open that at like 3 p.m. And then you can come tutor for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, roll straight in a box in gardening or art or whatever you want to do in the evening.
Now, you know, some of these kids will come straight from school. Do you guys have snacks or?
Yep. So we run a food pantry every week. So every Thursday from 3 to 5, we run. I think we're gonna change the date here, so it's gonna be pay attention to Facebook type thing. I think we're gonna change it to Wednesdays, but right now it's Thursdays, 3 to 5. We distribute probably 100 families worth of food every Thursday.
Wow.
So we get Liberty Fruit Company delivers 120 food boxes to us and 120 gallons of milk. We hand all that out.
Liberty Fruits in Armadale.
Yep. So we take care of all that, and then we get snacks in, and then KMDI, which is a company down in Fairfax, they graciously donate dry goods and snacks and stuff like that all the time.
Wow.
So you have a partnership with some of the local corporations.
Correct. And then Blue Cross Blue Shield gives me 160 hot meals every Tuesday, and we distribute those out too. And then they give me like 7 cases.
Don't get any ideas. Don't get any ideas, okay?
See, there's a lot of good out there. Yes. I'm a firm believer that the good outdo the bad part of our world. You know, we always hear the bad news on TV, on the radio, in the papers. It's always the negative side of society. But we seldom hear about the great things that our police officers are doing, or firefighters, or teachers, and so many great people, like you and your wife, and the group of volunteers that you have, like you did today, distributing your food packages.
Yes, we helped another person with all that. Mike Simmons.
Who is another great individual. Mike,
Sheriff Deputy. Yes,
thank you so much, Mike.
We partner up with them. We're happy to help out. You know, and that's our thing. You know, we belong to this village, to our community. We belong to each other, and we're gonna do whatever it takes to help out, to continue to be a part of this, and bring more people in. Now, during this time, have you guys been able to close the gap between the community and maybe the at-risk youth and the police? Do you have police officers in uniform that come in to PAL?
Yep, so it's not as many as I would like. And I understand they're busy and they're short-handed too, but so that was the whole goal, was to bridge the gap between the community and police through sports, pretty much. So we do archery, we do fishing camps, we do pickleball, which we're about to have a pickleball.
Pickleball.
So if nobody knows what that is, look it up. It's actually pretty fun. I didn't know what it was until I went down to Chicken and Pickle up north.
Yeah.
We've partnered with them, and they're going to build us a pickleball court outside.
Oh, cool! Yes. Yeah.
So,
that is amazing.
Right. So it's
man, that brings tears to my eyes. I want to go back to the police department.
So I think the gap's being bridged. I mean, there's been several kids I've helped, and several kids the other officers have helped. Every Tuesday night, Lenexa Police Department comes in. Major Frank Ice brings a couple of his sergeants, detectives, and patrolmen down there, and they do like it's not a CrossFit, but similar to a CrossFit. It's kind of like a high intensity stretching bands, own body weight type workout.
And I was going to talk to you about that, because I've seen a few adults doing some kind of a workout, and sometimes it's outside the building there.
Right.
Is that something that is open to everybody in KCK? Right. Or?
Yep, that's everybody that joins the program is free to join. So
not that I need to work out, but you know, just for other people out there, you know.
Help me out here, please, Lord. That is incredible. So you're working with private corporations, you're working with different organizations, and you mentioned the Lenexa PD.
Right.
Do you have any other police departments, the fire department, anybody else that is involved?
The fire department's right down the street. They pop in quite often. KHP wants to get involved with Kansas Highway Patrol. COVID happened, it kind of derailed that thought process, but I'll be getting back on them here soon. And then KU Med Police Department, now the KU Med Center is right across the street. They stop in and check in on everything, and there's a lot of good once they realize what they're doing when they come there and see the impact they have showing up in uniform and all that fun stuff.
And so something that I wanted to touch here is the fact that we know that COVID was very tough, and thank God, because I know that even though the kids couldn't go to school, some of the high schools were providing a meal, at least a meal for some of the kids. Some of these kids only actually get the best meal that they get on the day is the one that they get from school.
Right.
What if a child comes to you and tells you, Officer Locke, I am hungry, I haven't eaten today?
So it happens more than I like to admit.
Man.
But I have, so KMDI, down Fairfax, we make food boxes that are non-perishable, dry goods with snacks and the stuff that's not going to go bad. So I can leave it in my office. I keep it separate from the pantry just for these occasions like that. I can say, okay, here's a 30-pound box of food, and let's go down to the pantry and pick up peanut butter or whatever else you want. And sometimes we get some protein stuff, meats, fishes. During winter is great because we have a bunch of hunters that we know that they'll bring in deer still on the hide, and I'm a deer guy, so
Deer jerky?
we'll make deer jerky, deer hamburger. We'll do
You know my address.
right?
So let me ask you something. You are under the umbrella of community policing.
Correct.
Right? So you are not out patrolling, you are not, you just take care of PAL.
Yep, I'm
Make
in
sure
PAL.
that it's taken care of, make sure that it's running correctly.
That's right.
Getting people in and
This is all year round.
All year round.
This is not just during the summertime.
No, all year round.
You don't shut down during the winter days.
Nope.
Now, you mentioned that you have another fellow officer who works with you.
Correct.
And can you mention his name?
It's Officer Joey Reyes.
Joey Reyes, another great officer. So thank you so much, Officer Joey Reyes. We're sorry that you're not here. We apologize for that.
He's in the garden shoveling 15 yards of dirt.
Oh my God. That's
so
amazing.
this was your escape, right? Hey, I'll see you later. I'll be back.
Yeah, he's getting the vineyard ready so we can start planting the grapevines here soon.
So let me ask you this. Some of the kids that are doing the art, we know some of the kids who want to compete, they go and compete. The kids that are doing the art, do they get a chance to show their art at an art gallery or some type
Sell
of
it?
expose,
Right.
or even sell it? That's
So we've talked about all that stuff. We're working towards it. It's just finding out how to go about it, really, I guess. So Vania turns out great work with their students. Their students turn out really great stuff. Of course, they like to keep their stuff too.
Yeah.
So
There's
we've
nothing
talked
wrong
And
with that.
you work hard on that.
There's
It's like,
nothing
I can
wrong
just
with
put it
that.
up in my room,
So we've talked about it. I think we're going to be able to figure that out here soon. So especially with the COVID rules start getting a little more, like parents are a little more comfortable with their kids getting a little more exposure. We should be able to start at least doing some type of gallery stuff for sure.
How about if parents want to come in and maybe just check out the place and, I don't know, keep an eye on their kids? Are they allowed to come into the building or?
Sure. So it's about 50-50. Some parents come and drop their kids off, and those are the parents that kind of explain, hey, we're just making sure this is not daycare.
Yeah.
If I call you, this is because you've let it become a daycare. So we don't want it to become a daycare. We want it to become something we can kind of talk and mentor. We don't want people playing tag and hide and seek and stuff. So the other half of the parents, they sit there, they watch their kids participate, and then those parents, I'll walk up and say, there's empty bicycles over there. There's an empty elliptical. If you want to hold the bag while your kid hits it, and then I'll give you a pair of gloves, you can hit the bag with your kid.
Do they take you up on that, or they're like,
Some do. It's not a super high percent.
Yeah.
Well, they do at the beginning, and I think they realize, man, this is kind of hard. Like, hitting the bag's hard. Like, I don't want my kid to see that, they can outdo me or anything like that. So I think that's kind of a little ego thing.
I think it was Mike Tyson, and again, I'm paraphrasing, where he said, everybody thinks they were tough until they get hit in the face or
Right.
something to that effect.
Right. Yeah, and that's what kind of happens with some of these kids that think they're a little tougher than the others. We bring them in there, and we have kids that like to humble other kids.
Oh,
you know, you know, if they think they're tough.
Have you had any problems in your facility, fights, or you know, their rivals, whether they're gang members or not, or you know, things like that?
We haven't had any, which is I'm actually shocked by the culture that's outside of the doors. When everybody comes in, it's really peaceful. We've not had any problems.
Well, you have to get credit for it because that's what you represent, unity. You know, it's not just you come in and they come in and you're gonna fight. You know, I mean, this is one place and it's a neutral place, and you know.